Guiding clients is difficult if we don't possess the virtues that they need to possess. And so an honest evaluation is a necessary first step to guide clients to foster virtue. So think of yourself not just as a financial advisor, but in some ways, you are a spiritual guide for your clients as well. Because the techniques and tools which they need to become successful investors are also some of the techniques and tools that they will need to be successful Catholics, to follow Christ earnestly. But I think looking in the mirror and asking ourselves, am I a courageous investor? Am I a prudent investor? Or am I easily caught up with current events or the vagaries and the fluctuations of market price? Are those things that are influencing my decisions, maybe in an outsized way? So, starting from that perspective of humility, that we need to possess the virtues we wish to share, is a useful tool as we go through this journey with our clients. I think most importantly, in terms of financial management, aside from virtue, protecting client money is the name of the game. I think all of us have experienced the reality that clients get a lot more upset and emotional when they lose money, and that seems outsized in comparison to the joy and peace that they find when they achieve financial success. Losing 100,000 for some clients is dramatically worse than making 100,000. So, I think it's important for us to recognize that reality for a lot of folks as we help them grow effectively. But I think from our perspective as financial advisors, it's really critical for us to do what we're good at and not what we would need to pretend to be good at. For example, maybe as a financial advisor, you're awesome at guiding clients and giving them advice and coaching them and helping them make good decisions, which I would argue is the financial advisor's core function. Does that automatically mean you are an excellent portfolio manager, which comes with the significant math component, the CFA type of thing, those types of questions? And maybe you are good at two things, or maybe you are only good at one of these things. Well, let's look at both. If you are a great financial advisor, Nick Murray wrote The Excellent Financial Advisor back in the late 1990s, still a great read, decent book, worth reading. But if you're an excellent financial advisor, do that. Be an excellent financial advisor. You don't need to also be an excellent portfolio manager or whatever else you might be thinking, CPA or something else. Just pick your lane. That's behavioral management for ourselves. So we start with behavioral management here so that we can go out to others and help them manage their behavior. And so I guess what I would say is don't try to be what you are not. All right, so let's dig into it. So we're going to talk, first of all, about how behavior is more important than intelligence. Intelligence is certainly important. But at the end of the day, our behaviors have far more impact on our financial success than how smart we are. And I would start with my bottom bullet point. Why do so many brilliant people never obtain comfortable wealth? There are a lot of poor professors in this world. But if they're so smart, they should be great investors. Well, they may have the intelligence and they may know a lot about finance, but if you don't have the behavioral skills necessary to be a great investor, it's going to be very difficult for you. But I think we must remember that even brilliant people make irrational decisions. Not everything we do is prudential, which is a virtue. So prudence, of course, is the right application of reason. We should always be prudent investors. And I think honest people are, I would admit that we don't always act prudently. Sometimes we act out of emotion and have had bad results. But, I want to also let us off the hook a little bit on this, and certainly let your clients off the hook. We're all new at this. Even us financial advisors are new at this. The entire financial services industry is somewhat new. The 401k was invented in 1978. It's 1 year older than I am. So maybe I am old, but that's not that long ago, if you really think about it in terms of the scope of human history. In 1998, we had the invention of the Roth IRA. So it's now a little bit old enough to drive. I guess 25 is sort of when you can rent a car and drive. So it's relatively new. I don't know which generation. I think that would be a millennial, maybe. So the Roth IRA is a millennial, and the 401k would be like Gen X/millennial, maybe. I don't really remember all those dates, but I think that's fair. But my point is, we should let ourselves off the hook and be a little bit merciful, and our clients off the hook about their lack of knowledge and behavioral skills in making good financial decisions, because all of us have just been trying to figure it out since about 1978. Before that, financial advice and investing was relegated only to the super wealthy, and now most Americans own stocks of some kind in their 401ks and elsewhere. But let's look at behavior from this quote that I have here. And this is from Morgan Housel. Financial success is not a hard science. It's a soft skill where how you behave is more important than what you know. And that's really what I'm trying to elucidate for you here. And also that wealth building is about patience, self-control, and humility. That a patient and self-controlled person who comes at it from a perspective of epistemological humility, meaning I don't know what I don't know, is a great place to begin as an investor. Those are skills that will serve for our entire lives. And the nice thing about patience, self-control, and humility is not only do they serve us in our behavioral financial decisions, they serve us in every decision in our life.